Hello everybody, Kat here from the Conservancy Trust. I'm just in with Sirius, one of our striated caracaras, and we've got a new enrichment item to try out with him, which was purchased on our Amazon wish list. So a huge thank you to the lovely person that purchased 2 of these for us for the birds. Sirius is quite excited, as you can hear. He's very loud. But we're ever so grateful for all of the donations that we've had through the purchases from the Amazon wish list. So a huge thank you from all of us, and obviously the birds who it's benefiting as well. So I'm going to give Sirius this Kong, and hopefully he's seen it once before, but he didn't quite figure it out. So inside he's got some mealworms. So they will eat insects in the wild. I'm just going to place it down here. And we're going to have a camera rolling on him while I carry on talking to you a little bit more. So the enrichment item, it's not a toy, it's to basically try and encourage some natural behaviours from him. So if you've been to the Trust and visited us before, you'll know that Sirius is one of the birds that comes out during the winter season when ordinarily we would be open. And he uses his feet a lot to turn objects over. So we give him plant pots and coconut shells. Obviously he's not going to find those out in the wild, and he's certainly not going to find a bright red Kong, but he will investigate things. They're problem solvers, and so he's using all of his intelligence to work out constantly how to get food. So out in the wild that might be turning over rocks and shells. They'll go underground. They're very versatile and very adaptive at finding their food and constantly on the lookout. Now what's really cool about this species is that here at the Trust we have funded some research work to be done out on the Falkland Islands, where you find the striated caracara, and a lady called Katie Harrington, she's done some data studies for us. And what she's discovered is looking at the energy levels, so how much energy the caracaras use out in the wild, and also sort of some trends and patterns. Now, really interestingly, in the summer months, they don't have to expend too much energy because there's plentiful food. All of the seabirds that have travelled over to the Falkland Islands to breed mean there's ample feeding opportunities for the striated caracaras. They're known to feed on penguin chicks. They'll eat the eggs as well, and they'll break the eggs open typically with their feet. Obviously it's all about the feet, making them the bird of prey. But also in the winter months there's a different trend. So all of those migratory birds move off, they fly away from the Falkland Islands because it's going to turn cold and conditions are going to change. So the caracaras have to do a bit more travelling. They actually have to fly to the other side of the island, and they head to farms and they scavenge at farmland areas. And they've actually been recorded to be really opportunistic with all sorts of manner of prey items. Obviously I've listed a few for you, but one thing that was recorded for the first time was striated caracaras actually catching an octopus. So there you go, really something quite special and unique, and just shows that they'll go after pretty much anything that they can. So the data that we've managed to get from this species, from the funding, and this project was in 2019, it's all really important for helping us learn more about some of the species that we work with here at the Trust. So it all helps as part of our conservation work. Now Sirius looks like he's given up a little bit, but that's fine. We usually find this with new items. He's got to figure it out a little bit more, so we'll probably leave it with him for a bit longer, see if he works it out, but that's all part of the enrichment. Out in the wild he's not necessarily going to just stumble across his food. He's got to work for it, figure things out, and use that really clever brain of his. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing Sirius. Once again, thank you very much for all of your support throughout this period, and donations, and like I say, through buying things off of the Amazon wish list.